This video is entitled What I Learned from a Summer Abroad, Escaping America's Turmoil to Embrace Digital Nomadism. We're going to talk about introduction. We're going to talk about the first part is going to be talking about challenges in the United States. We'll talk about the impact of climate change, infrastructure, economic, political climate, social climate. Second part is going to be talking about exploring new horizons, the decision to travel, countries and regions visited, what I learned, what I liked and what I disliked. And part three is life as a digital nomad. We talk about running a business remotely, daily life and work balance. Part four is going to be lessons and reflections, insight gains, future outlook, and conclusion. We'll talk about key experiences and learning. So this video is recorded to you live from Atlanta, October 25th, 2024, from the FinCon conference here at the Hyatt Regency. And so first thing is introduction. This past summer from May to August, I traveled abroad. And the reason why was, one is to travel more, to see more of the world. I'm from Houston, Texas, which is one of the largest cities in the United States, but a lot of times during the summertime, the heat can get quite brutal, and I feel like there's so much more of the world to see and experience. So that's what I wanted to check that out. Usually we take a family vacation, and then after my family returned, I stayed on and did a scouting trip to look at the brief issues facing the United States. Here it's October, a few weeks out from the election, a pivotal election between Trump and Harris. A lot of things at stake. There's this issue of climate change. There's issues of inflation, rising taxes, our national debt, wealth inequality, the wealth gap. There's a lot of political and social unrest. There's a lot of political divisiveness. And with these challenges in the United States, especially during the summertime, the heat and humidity in the deep South, and Houston with its aging infrastructure, with power outages and hurricane tornadoes, water outages, water shortages, it was getting to take an emotional toll. This all factored into my decision to travel, to stay, to actually look at other countries to potentially diversify in the future. Should the U.S. Undergo something, a political, economic, social crisis, just as they say, it's good to diversify. It's always also good to, in this climate, to diversify geographically. A lot of my colleagues I know are getting second passports, are flocking to tax-friendly jurisdictions, looking for places that had better climate, better cost of living, better leadership. All of the signals, as Ray Dalio said in his Changing World Order book, he's talking about the United States is at its peak, and we have rising competitors such as China and India, and the rest of the world is catching up, and the United States is aging. That's the first part, is setting the stage. Second stage is new horizons. So decision to travel. Part of it was a holiday vacation. Part of it was a scouting trip. And what's interesting is I actually met a lot of expats and people from the United States also doing the same thing, looking for countries where they would have a better quality with a better standard of living, seeking political diversity, geographical diversity, better living standards. The countries that my wife and I visited were Germany and Austria. And then after she returned, I wanted to study the happiest people. So I went to Copenhagen, Denmark, then Amsterdam, followed by Croatia, Barcelona, and then spending a month in San Francisco, which was just an eye-opening experience of just the amount of technology innovation. People outside of Houston, I feel, are a little bit more open-minded and embracing different ideas, and just it's great to see different cultures and interact with so many digital nomads, entrepreneurs, more open-minded individuals. So that was where I did, followed by a stint in Colombia and Argentina as well. I feel that Latin America is going to be is one of the untapped, undiscovered countries. Kind of running a business remotely as well as traveling, better standard of living, lower cost of living, tools and technologies used. I just needed a laptop, smartphone, and internet. Sometimes the internet would be choppy, but honestly, it was no different than what Houston is with Xfinity and Comcast always shutting off the internet. a lot of times the internet was better than what they have in the United States. So that kind of shows you when, and I can't wait for Elon Musk Starlink to come up and come online because I'll be one of those first customers to cut my Comcast connection. It was great to network. I was able to utilize social media. Overall, what I've realized is that some of the lessons and reflections that there's so much undiscovered, untapped. We think a lot of the Americans I talk to, they're just so absorbed in their own world and they think that everybody cares about America, but most of the countries do not. The more everybody is in their own world, and there's just so much value in culture and diversity in thinking outside of the box. And I feel that a lot of times governments outside of the United States are actually more forward thinking in terms of the environment, in terms of the climate, in terms of the energy, in terms of politics. And from my experience, less corrupt. And the United States is so busy fighting wars and sending money to Ukraine and trying to hold back other countries and using economic and military might to bully other countries. So it was great to see that people are starting to wake up. So, and I was able to prove to myself that I could travel, and in the future, if there's anything such as a civil war here in the United States, I can easily pack up and leave and find other jurisdictions that are a lot safer, a lot friendlier, that and actually have a lot of tax benefits, especially in the South America region, as well as El Salvador, Puerto Rico. All these are offering tax friendly for people to migrate over there, as well as easier to get to diversify your passport and your visas. So that's a summary of, and kind of final thoughts is that if you have the ability, if you have the financial, location, time, emotional freedom to run a business abroad, definitely do that. There's so much places out there that have a lot of beauty, of culture, great food, great people, great climate, great weather, low cost of living, and so overall, it was a eye-opening experience. That's it for this episode, and stay tuned for if you have ideas or you have questions for the next type of content for this episode. Feel free to share it in the comments. And thanks for watching. And I look forward to talking with you again.